Real quick, I wanted to go through Ouroboros' Eternal Struggle. Now, there will be, in theory, some changes later. The biggest change is this four-player ranking. It's seeming like four-player doesn't play that great, but for right now, let's just talk about the two-player game. So here's your start player marker. What this is going to show you effectively is the round order. You have this, which is blacked out just so you can see that all the cards are in their start position. Then that goes over here to the mountain for round 2, round 3, and the fourth and final round. So someone will go first on first and third, and the other player will go first on second and fourth. That's all this card does. It has some solo stuff on the back, but mostly that's that. What you're going to do is shuffle this stack up. I have mine in hard pack just because of how the card's printed. You'll deal 1 to the reservoir, that communal discard. Deal out cards evenly. So here we are, two-player game, 8-card starting hand. Get that out of the way. On your turn, you get 1 play. Now, everything that you need to know for the round is going to be right there. There are basically 2 kinds of cards. Storable, which is that cardboard box symbol. Let me see if I can find a spell, or do I not have any spells? I do not have any spells. Haha, look at that. Here. Or we'll just call it a spell, a single shot right there. You'll notice there's no storable stuff, no pertinent information. And then within storable, there are 2 kinds. You have the curse, worse than negative points, little skull there denotes that. And then I call them boons, we probably can rename them, but it gives you positive points, victory points. So you have stars, anti-stars, if you will. If a card has a cost, which most of these I believe have had that cost removed. Here we are. It's going to be above this dotted line here. So in order to be able to play this card, you have to discard another card from your hand to the reservoir, and then this will go face up in front of you. It's worth 3 points. Basically, this sits in front of you. It's worth 3 points. At any time during your turn, you may sacrifice this to revive 2. What does revive mean? As the game goes on, this reservoir, which is both a discard and a draw pile, you actually get to pick the cards and bring them back to your hand. So unlike stuff like Magic the Gathering and other card games, you actually know effectively what you're drawing. It's right here in the reservoir. When a person cannot play or chooses not to play, they will pass. They will discard 1 card if they have any, and everyone else gets 1 more turn. Okay, easy enough. Then we go to the next one. If there are any cards stored in front of a player, like so, they will stay there until they are either removed or you will get to the end of the game and then score them. So then let's go from round 1 to round 2. We rotate to this. We shuffle this up. Take, let's say, another card out just because. We're going to rotate the entire stack over to the mountainside. There we go. We deal 1 to the reservoir, deal evenly amongst the players. Any remainder will go also to the reservoir, so there's no advantage being seated to, just having an odd count. And then we go back and forth. Play out some more cards, then we'll get, over to the third one. Ta-da, the leaf, which is going to be on the back. Flip them over. Here we are in the third one, the third age, leaf age, whatever I call it, who knows. And then we go into the fourth and final. One other area to cover is most of them are in age 2. There is 1 in age 1. It has this little Illuminati icon looking thing here, the illumination. The reason that these are specifically highlighted, I know there's another one. Where is it? It's somewhere. Anyway, here it is. The reason that these are specifically highlighted, these cannot be sacked. So you see right here, cannot be sacrificed. So in order to get rid of them, you basically as the owner have to choose to return them with that card, with this little return arrow here. But also they provide you a conversion ability. So this one simply says you discard a curse from your hand to revive a boon, bring it back. Pretty viable, pretty strong. While this is a curse, the person who is cursed can discard a boon, a positive card, to bring back more negative cards. So basically, I have some negative points on me. I'm going to keep bringing back and just fill you up. Pretty awesome. Now, we have something called the limit. The limit in, let me show you this start player card. You see right here, it says you have a limit of 5. Now, that just means that underneath normal circumstances, you can have 5 stored cards face up in front of you. If I'm in this situation here, I have 4. I pass to my opponent. My opponent can then put a curse, as you put them on other people, in front of me, effectively locking me out until I clear space. Whether it's through a sacrifice ability, or a return ability, or a self-sacrifice ability like some of these have. Like this one here, that simply says it can be sacrificed. So if I want to make space for a better card, I can sacrifice this. And then at the end of the game, you add up your points. We're done. As a seasoned CCG veteran, I don't feel this is overly complicated. It is 18 cards. You only need, scoring at the very end of the game. There's no tokens to keep track of. There are, points, life totals, everything are basically just represented here. If you want to consider that your upswing or just points or whatever, it's very simple. There's not a lot of tricks. I will admit these cards seem to overflow with icons. But I think as you get more accustomed to it, you'll get used to these icons. The ones going down the side seem confusing at first, but it's more because there are certain cards that care only about storables, certain cards that care about spells, like this one from Age 1 lets you bring back spells. Okay. You will also notice if you happen to play this in 3-player, there aren't really many targeted effects. All opponents. Choose an opponent, but then they get to make a choice. There aren't a specifically target player must sacrifice this card. There's no way to get rid of something specifically. It's blanket effects. You kind of have to play a war of attrition. That was designed so that there is no king making. Now, yes, you can easily grief people and, make people sacrifice a bunch of cards, but I think overall it works out. If you have any questions, please let me know. But I hope you enjoy this. This is the more refined of the designs I've put out so far. It's kind of a passion project, and I've said that a lot, but the biggest thing is it's a game that keeps evolving about how, this card is this way on one round, and then switches, and then it switches. We are working on a draft variant that doesn't take as much time, because otherwise you're reading a ton of the card, and it seems to really slog it down. Any ideas? Let me know. Comments, let me know. Thank you very much for watching.